Welcome back again in my streaming. So today I will show the most progress on my Including Gimp projects. It's already done with the landscape, but not as a whole. But still in the testing for the tree that has to be not editable ways. Trees, so you can collect and harvest wood from it, and still that's quite challenging because it still has a lot of issues for the performance actually. And you can see there is a gun and weapons. Then I'm going to go into my wall. Should be some tricky to could be used for as well. Issues with physics. Space easy for my yes. So I just make change for damage, so you can see the logic was increased while the enemy is chasing the players. That makes the quality kind of a little bit drop from the 60 FPS to 40 FPS, sometimes 30. With this type of weapons, when you grab it, because you can't kill this. So you can see the goblin health. Where's the goblin health was 30, just right in the corner. On the left bottom corner you can see the health was 30. Swing, you get 20, swing again 10, and swing again and die. Very easy. Okay, so now the frame rate got increased again, because the logics from that enemy encounter was disabled or removed. And here is my LOD with the trees, but not in the smaller tree, because I want to plan. Either way, this is not properly generated. It's wrongly on this side of this rocky texture right here. Should be not in there. Supposed to be in the green texture here. This is the oldest LOD generator for the tree, and still has a different distance drawing, and it's LOD for a smaller tree, but the biggest tree. Bigger tree has the LOD. It's kind of a little bit darker in far ways because I already increased the size of the lightings. And it's supposed to be some sort of a reflection on the water, the effect from the water itself. And this is placement for a smaller tree out here, and it has no physics. So these for the generators for in-game, in real time, it has to be not generate the entire landscape with separate objects. Increase the performance, especially for the physics. So the physics today, where I show you, this is the physics cannot pass through, or is no longer able to get through these trees. This has physics, but the physics is not separate or individually set. to the place, and this is not because I already changed the generator. And this is basically always has physics in it, so it will be stuck. And if I generate the physics for the trees independently or individually, it will be dropping the performance, because it will, when I was load at the first time for tree LOD, if tree LOD has the separate or individually set for physics, it will be decrease the physics itself. So I just managed to combine the physics object for the trees into the ground as a one object. That's it will be increase the value of consumed for calculation for the in-game itself. So it has no physics is different. I'll show you how what it works. It's tree generator. I think it takes time to load. I will open the finished version of physics for static physics. Let's see. Library, this is landscape. It's landscape tree and static. This is just the tree without the statics, and it has lower size of the file, and it's kind of bigger because it has trees. It's only just physics. So I managed to join or combine the tree and the ground itself. That's how it works. If I make it separately, individually, one at a time, it's multiple, so many objects, and it will be increase the performance, decrease the performance, and lowering the frame rate while in game if I make it individually spawn. But the bad thing is, if I make it don't make it individually, so I cannot even remove the physics. Remove the physics each of the trees. So the physics for the trees will be exist forever because they are attached to the ground. So if I manage to make a, let's see, modify trees, which is you can cut and change the trees, so became remove from the game. Let's see, what is the file? I think it's not in the list, and it's supposedly in this file. It is high quality generator. Still make a byte. That's still huge because it's generated. So I will generate basically again. It's actually I generate a dot to save memory and file size, and also increase the performance. So for graphics render or rasterizing. And then this big tree is not modifiable for now, but it still has properties in it because it's still not. And if I use the blender render, blender game, it changed the mesh into the trees, but the actual object is actually a dot. So go back to blender render for generators. So the plans is I'm not sure for today's stream because it's very takes time to generate the entire stuff, entire object for the trees on the ground itself. The ground is very huge, the landscape very huge. As you can see, it has a logics for these particular trees, and so you can change the that mesh, and then it will be changed into, it has health, and in the properties you can see the health is just 100. So I just managed to make this one trees other time not the next one. I think the smaller tree will be modifiable, which is can be harvested for the woods and the sticks one. But yet it has no static to increase the performance, because if I manage to make it a static in the blend game and I put it to the sensors and already try it out, I guess, maybe not, I forgot. Yesterday was too much. And it will be changed into the stump after I have to see the condition in here. If less than 1, this find just 2. This is basically 100 is a default. And it is play deck. I'm not sure this is the player, this is hitbox. This is supposedly hitbox. This is hitbox for the player damage, and so find will be decreased for 10. It's supposed to be tapping like this. And then sort pine trees. And this is the logic for it. It will be changing to the stump, which is this one. It's the stump, and will be after that. At the same time, it will be dropping some object or add some object from this particular tree, from this dot, which is the entity for the trees. Will be add the logs, the tree logs in it, and probably the stick, smaller stick as well. I'm not sure the stick will be used for this. It's too much reference and too much occasion to be built, so I just start for some logs. Maybe sending messages to the players. And the players so perhaps the best is sending to the players, so the spawning point for adding object, which is for the log and the stick. Maybe the leaves as well. I'm sure the pine leaf is useful for any kind of surviving elements for buildings. Never heard of it. Never heard of that pine leaves could be useful for making roof or something like that. Not sure, because it's a weird shape for a leaf pine. Okay, I guess I just want to make spawning some wooden stuff in it, just wood stuff, stick and log for building some walls, sticks for some small stuff, especially for like that, for feeding the campfire, or maybe anything else. Yes, I think it's quite very common to use that stuff. Just make it a log only, but should I make it another one? A storage generator will be sufficient enough for logic to be added individually. That's another challenge that I have to make. Or maybe just single message in it. First is the health for trees, and then the effect from the collision from the player damage itself, like the swing and the weapons, and then added objects, just one. I will be tested out maybe tomorrow, not today, but this is for my project, and it's still in one type of trees, not the other one. There is there is one more tree that to be added. So I will generate this first for the smaller tree, small pine trees. The biggest one is not will be, maybe I will harvest some logs from it, because it will not be modifiable for now for biggest trees, because it doesn't make any sense or not immersive. Oh man, it's My network sucks. It's kind of a bit laggy. I'm sure I'm streaming today. Okay then, the last progress was just improve the damage system for the players. Damn noisy, I hate it. That's why I increased my microphone sound, but because it's not quite noisy, but sometimes it does noisy. So I just increase. It's called. I'm just changing the. I'm going to delete this. Doesn't use full anymore. It was static goals and
said hi.
Hello there. Welcome to my streaming. My boring Blender streaming. So I just eat weapon damage or player damage for weapons. So I can show you from here, and this is the hitbox for damage, so I'm going to make it visible. So if I maybe okay, I'm going to make it visible, so I'm going back matching. Let's check it out. This one is supposed to be popping up the hitbox shapes. Yeah, you can see there is a hitbox shapes. It's in front of me, in front of the character, like a triangle shapes.
Is it easy to do 2D on Blender?
2D, I think it's easy. A grease pencil for animation and maybe for the game itself. It's easy to build some shape in it. So let's find the enemy. Where's the enemy? There he goes. Help! Help! The rolling is very slow. It's supposed to be very speedy and very fast. 1. So the health is 3 times. This is dead. So you asking for a 2D? I think it's easy. Using the grease pencil for making an objects. Where's that grease? I think this one is good. Edit new. Then you can draw on the surface for it. And maybe you can shape it that line into the object, 3D object. Draw on a surface. Let's see. Press hold D and draw it. You can see there's attach a line into the surface. It's quite useful. It's supposed to be useful. Another thing is gathering the object as well. So if you have good drawing on the 2D, you can press D, hold D key. Sorry, my drawing is not quite good with the mouse. So let's draw some character in it. So then after that, I think you can edit this line into an object, I guess. I forgot how to use this. It's supposedly very easy to make a 2D characters with maybe some pen. I cannot pick it. I forgot how to use this. It's been a while not using 2D stuff. Okay, that's pretty much it for my spawning one. I'm going to hide this collision damage for the players. So basically I just made player damage or hitbox damage from the player's character. It's spawning some projectile. It actually, you can see the logic itself. If I have message attack from after the animation, so I have to synchronize with the animation, like swinging sword weapons. there's some part of frame that directly at the front of the players. When they swing the weapons, have to be directly in front of the player. It has a timing in it from the frame, so after that time I'll send a message into this entity, which is damage spawner, especially for the melee. And
Sir Sky Legend said, BDW, can you lower the music a bit or check your mic?
lower music. It is the lowest one. And my mic is still low. Really? Hello, test. I think it's not. Is it? It's not very low, is it? Maybe I talk too low. Yes, I guess. So just added object, which is the previous one, the hitbox. That's it. And there's the timing from damage itself, which is I think attacking status in the third one. Melee damage spawner attack. If I have between the combo damage, so around here, the frame 25 and 35, it will be sending a message into that spawner. This one sends the message, which is attack, and then added object, which is the
Sir Sky
hitbox.
Legend said, try coughing.
I guess I don't know. It seems very weird. I already listened to my own voice. Maybe you have to increase your own players in Twitch. The Twitch player. Let me see this training. It was full. Hello, test. This is very loud, ladies. It's very loud. Very loud. Okay, let's see the progress. I guess I have to generate. Sorry, not this one. I just save. The domain scene, and this is probably. No, I'm not going to try. Everything should be in the next map. Oh no, this. Bit. I'll tell you. Oh yes, I guess because. Occupy the small inside the box of the light itself, sunlight. It's a little bit text. Because I just make it the entire landscape to be low. I have to kill this goblin first because you can see the logic is increased if the enemy just chasing you. And what is that? Weapons. There he goes. There's no text popping up. Take 1, 2. There is no collision effect yet. We are going to make sound as well. I think sound will be in the finishing. And this is a very huge map. Even though I still use the LOD system for the camera. But the ground or high resolution, high polygon for this mesh, land meshes is just all details. Has the details for the texture and the polygon. You can see there is a seam over there. And there is some collision trees in here. I just stuck in here some. I guess I see it. So, there it goes. There's a trees in here. So if I move straight, it's stuck a little bit, and slide to the left. Maybe around here. There it goes.
Surf Sky Legend said nice landscape.
I think I'm going to increase the lights, and this is supposedly link, like this light, sunlight here. You just follow the players, and I already make it link in here. It doesn't make any difference or make any effect when I lowering the value for the hemi or the skylight. So I'm going to increase to 0.8. Another 0.8. And this doesn't have any effect from it. Because, oh yeah, I know why. The effects only works for shadows. It has shadow box in it. That's why it doesn't affect the second one. Maybe I'm going to increase the size of it. That will be bad for the first scene in here. Very bright. Will be very bright. So I'm going to load it again once more, please. Okay. I'm going to test. See it. Just straight into the. It takes time to load, and I import the entire landscape, even though it is not rendering for increased performance for the graphics. And the logic still increased right now. I'm going to kill this goblin. So my frame rate is still 40, 1, 2, 3. It's dead. And it's sliding. It still has physics. And I think it's quite perfectly matched. It's still a bit darker from the main scene. This is the high resolution scene from the camera, but the second already is still darker a little bit. Changing the audio, you can see the audio was changed from a bigger tree. So the audio only generate for the biggest tree or the taller tree, and not for a small tree, because small tree I will make testing for cutting the trees from the logic. Not sure the logic will be sufficient enough for generating this and stuff. Before the physics, it's increased the performance for my game. It's terrible. I love inside this wood, especially with the grass in it. It might be much better looking, I guess. And this generator is so sucks in this one. It was inevitable for that one, especially unless if I just manage it individually. So the restoration increased right now. Not sure, just following frame rate. This GPU sucks. My GPU sucks. Has too many transference for the LOD. Still looks sucks for the LOD itself. The transference is not quite perfect. I guess it's the wrongly file. I already make one which has no such a white line in between, outline or whatever on the transference texture. So you can see there is a white line over the dark texture. Changing into the high resolution or higher polygon of the meshes from the 2D plane from the LOD. Guess that's pretty much it, and still decrease the performance. I think it's physically not, and increase to 60 FPS again. And because of the trees, very big. It's a good texture in it. Now the next step after the landscape is architecture. I need a good modelings for architects. I can download it somewhere, but that doesn't make any good ethics from it. Downloading is kinda, taking someone else's assets to be in the game, to be in the projects. Maybe it's just for testing purpose. I can make that with using someone else's assets to be used in my game projects, and then maybe next time I will make my own buildings, and building will be separated. Okay, this is the landscape preview for now, also for character preview as well. To decrease the detection. You can draw the weapons. Should we cut some trees? I want to cut some trees around here. It still has no collision in it. Still not generated for collision. It has here. Just make it different. Okay, that's yesterday's progress. So today I'm going to make a static from trees. So basically I generate some dot to increase the performance. Where is the dot? I think it's in here. It is the dot. This is the dot. So it has LOD system to change immediately, change the mesh into the trees, but not general statics or physics. So I cannot set it into the static. Make it a sensor, easier to detect by the players. I think sensor is useful for character player. This is rather than use static, because my damage system is actually static. I'm not sure if I can make it to the characters. Will be works properly. But I will try it out. Sensor will be works for that statics. Static will be search the collision for the player damage. It's actually hitbox, player hitbox damage. Hitbox damage. I suppose so. Let's see. All character mechanics. Let's see what's the properties in it. Attack hitbox, not using the player. So I'm gonna copy this. And right here. There it goes. It will decrease the value for the trees. If the value was less than 1 or 0, it will be replaced with stump, which is the right over here. Will be changed the mesh, but because it has permanent position for the static itself, that's why I make it a little bit taller for the stump. So it will be still has a collision for the player, so you cannot pass through it. It will be stuck. That's the effect for collision. That's why I make it a little bit taller. And object it or from the players. Still in the progress, still in considering. I'm not sure which one is properly set for adding some object. Probably the best way is just straight from the tree itself, but I'm not sure the trees will be support for performance if I make it individually, because these trees will be massive. It takes about amounts of let's see the landscape generator itself, and this is just the physics for trees, for the green one. So I think about 6,000 trees in the whole map, in the whole landscape, and then I will add it again inside these bigger trees, maybe not much of it, and then the other type of tree is 4,000 and more in the inside it, between the bigger trees. But I'm not streaming this today. Yes, that's where I was streaming today. I guess I have to make a generator. Generator takes time to load, compute,